Hello, my name is Cullen Wino, and this is my submission video for PACE 2024 Jimmy Neutron versus Jimmy Negatron. So right away you're going to see there's a bunch of stuff I'm doing. We are in the underwater lab right now. We're just going to run around and collect some ingredients. We're going to use those to make inventions. And real quick I'm going to glitch through that wall, and we're going to make a save here at the ravine, just because we need to return here later to set up some tricks. But first major trick of the run is this. I don't exactly know what to call it, but if you pause when you're wedged into the ground, it forces you up out of the ground every frame while you're paused, so it lets you get over the wall and skip the ravine. Alright, so now we are in the wharf. I'm just going to make a quick save right here, and I'm going to turn around and grab this speed power-up. Now we'll be using the speed power-up quite a bit through the run, but we're just going to run over here and we're going to grab this zip line. And while we're holding onto the zip line, we're going to load back into the save I made in the ravine and then load back in the wharf. And now we are in this, we are in a special state called Jimbo gliding. That's not what it's called, but that's what I'm calling it. But basically this allows us to levitate. So we're going to go over here in the ocean and we're going to hit a debug trigger that they left in the ocean. So that lets us skip a 5-minute long auto scroller. And we go straight to the seasonal levels. Now these levels are pretty simple. We're just going to run around. We're going to try to tag Jimmy Negatron. It's pretty difficult, this section. You got to be careful not to run into any fences because there's no way to get down once you climb up the fences. But yeah, so now we're in the winter section of the game. What we're gonna do is we're gonna wait for the other Jimmy to get right there, and then we're gonna make a save. And we're gonna set up this little AI manipulation. So as soon as he turns left, I'm gonna load that previous save, and then he's gonna get stuck. And basically we're gonna be able to just, well, he won't run away from us, so we can just lean up against him and we'll get rid of him pretty fast. And coming up next we have the Independence Day level. So real quick, I'm gonna save here and we're gonna go back to the wharf. And so for the Independence Day level, you have a jetpack, and so if you try to use your jetpack, you just float endlessly up in the sky. But I'm going to grab onto that zip line and let go. And basically what that's going to do is that's going to reset my state, so I'll be able to float up and actually go down too as necessary. But yeah, the first few levels are pretty straightforward. This is just a really optimized casual way to play the game, but that's gonna get broken pretty quickly in the next few levels. So I'm just gonna hit Jimmy, and that's it for the seasons. So now we're gonna be fighting King Carl. Now, basically, evil Jimmy, Carl, Black Flurp, and now he's giant, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna feed him a bunch of food, and then he should shrink. But yeah, that's what we're doing. I'm trying to line it up so every shot that I make goes into his mouth. And if I get this, if I do this well enough, it's possible to get a 1 cycle, which saves quite a decent amount of time, but I did not get the 1 cycle in this run, so I just go around for another pass. And it's still pretty quick. I don't have to go back and get more food, which is pretty good. Alright, but now we are heading into the most broken section of the game, Egypt. Now, in Egypt, we set up this really crazy trick that was discovered relatively recently, so we're just going to make a save there. We're going to go back to the wharf, and there is a moving platform that we're going to land on. It runs on a cycle. But yeah, we're going to land on that moving platform, and then we're going to go to the ravine. And now Jimmy is airborne, and we have basically every time he goes to that level, he's going to be airborne. But then I go back to the wharf and load my original save game, and now I'm floating. So basically, this is a frame perfect trick. If you press the invention button and the jump button on the same frame, then basically Jimmy just floats straight up into the sky. And yeah, and you can use this to get across this level. I know in this pyramid section there's like a water puzzle, a little bit of platforming, and then you've got this tornado section, and there's like a match the colors thing where you have to get like red, green, and blue, and then you have to make like colors. I don't know. It's pretty weird. I struggle with it a little bit, but we're just gonna skip all of it, and we're going to go all the way over to the trigger at the top of the pyramid. So you can see it's like a weird looking blocky pyramid. But yeah, there is a the trigger to finish the level is right on top of it, so I'm just going to hit it. I'm gonna set the trick up again so I can levitate some more. There we go, right on the trigger. Alright, so now we are in the Tomb A. Now this section is really broken. So I'm just gonna set up the this special trick where he walks in midair. So in this room up ahead, there's like disappearing floor tiles. It's like a puzzle. It's very, very silly, and we're just not gonna do it. We're just gonna walk over everything. Yeah, with the levitation tech in this game, you can skip pretty much everything. But I'm gonna make a save in this room, and we're gonna set that trick up again. Because weird things happen if you touch the ground with that trick enabled. But I'm just gonna levitate up here, and this is gonna skip this giant, really annoying like obstacle course room. There's like zip lines and like nets and ladders. It's really annoying, but no, we're just gonna skip that. And then up ahead we have this weird mummy, like kind of battle royale kind of thing. But we're just going to get really high above everything else, and then we are going to just soar across. And this saves a huge amount of time. This is one of the big time saves discovered recently. In the past, the world record for this game was just below 30 minutes. But with the discovery of the debug trigger in Wharf at the start of the game, and this other trick, which you'll see in the next section, yeah, a lot of time gets shaved off. It's pretty crazy. But as I was saying, when Jimmy touches the floor, when he's in this weird like elevating state, when he touches the floor, weird things happen to gravity. And you'll see that pretty soon. But basically, when you once you touch a floor and you're in this state, your gravity gets like turned up to 1,000. So you get really, really, really heavy. So if you walk off of like anything, you just hit the floor like almost instantly. Like it's very, very fast. But we're gonna take advantage of that in this next section. So I'm gonna make a little safety save here. Just ignore the sub notification. But we're gonna load and we're gonna set that trick up. So basically, in this level, there's this really long slide. Like the slide is like 2 minutes long. However, we're just going to go around, and there's actually no collision over here, so you can really just go underneath and out of bounds. And we're going to be setting up this really, really tough trick. I'm going to call this the slide drop, because nobody names anything in this game. But basically the way the trick works is you stand on this little like rock thing sticking out, and you set up your angle, and you just fall. You try to avoid the slides, but if you do it well enough, then you land at the very end of the level. Now that's a 5-minute level that you do in like a minute and a half tops. Alright, but now we are in the one of the final boss fights where you have to fight Herman. So we did not unlock the water gun upgrade until just now in the game, because normally the game takes away the water gun upgrade from you. So yeah, by doing this, we can just use our normal weapon instead of the special boss weapon they want you to build. It makes the fight like so much faster, because normally you have to run around and collect the pieces, and then Herman like sometimes runs away. That's the robot guy's name. But yeah, now we are in the Flurp factory. This section is pretty short. There's a little bit of a annoying section up ahead where you have to shoot the cans of Black Flurp, because you know, story goes, Jimmy Negatron is like Jimmy Neutron, but he's from another dimension, and he's trying to take over the world, so he poisons the soda supply. I know it's a little bit of a stretch. But yeah, I'm just going through and trying to shoot as many of these cans of Black Flurp as fast as I can, because the sooner you destroy enough of them, I'm not sure exactly how many, it ends the level. And to my knowledge, there is no debug trigger, but if we were able to skip this, that would be awesome. But yeah, I'm just aiming right where those cans come out, trying to shoot the bad ones as soon as they appear. This is probably the dullest part of the entire run. Luckily, it's pretty short. Alright, and now we've got the true final boss section of the game. So we are fighting dinosaurs, because apparently the last thing that Evil Jimmy did was he turned the dinosaurs in the museum, which is like the hub world of the game. Yeah, he turned all the dinosaurs into like living things. So now we're just running around the map shooting the dinosaurs. But yeah, there's only a few of them. I got sort of unlucky here. This, I believe the final result of this run was 13 minutes flat. I don't know, there were like a few minor mistakes. This run was less than 5 seconds off of world record, and I got this like an hour into doing attempts. So I would say that as far as like marathon safety goes, you know, a lot of the stuff in the game is pretty safe. And there aren't a lot of real run killers. And if there is like a trick that's really difficult, then you know, the most you'll lose from a trick is like 5 seconds. You know, you can do that a couple times. This game is very forgiving in general. But yeah, now we've killed all of the dinosaurs, we just have to wait a few seconds. And then time.
Oh, it's over. Okay. 13 flat. 13 flat. Nice.
But yeah, we we defeated the dinosaurs, and then Evil Jimmy shows up, and he gets teleported away, and then we win. But yeah, that is it for me, Jimmy Neutron versus Jimmy Negatron, my submission video. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your consideration.